Good morning, everyone. John Michael here with John Michael Sells ATL.com. And on this platform, I post videos a few times a week to help educate both buyers and sellers who are entering into the Atlanta area real estate market. And on today's video, let's talk a little bit about septic systems. So what is a septic system? Well, in short, it is basically a private wastewater system that is on your property. It pumps that wastewater into a septic tank, and then it flows to a drain field where it is filtered and goes back into the soil and gravel. And so if you are a home buyer, it is imperative that you know whether or not the home that you intend to purchase is on a septic system or if it is on public sewer. If it's on a septic system, you want to make sure that in addition to your home inspection, that you get the septic system inspected and pumped before you move in. This will help you identify any issues with the system. It'll also confirm whether or not it is fully functional, and it will reveal if there are any costly repairs that need to be made that you can potentially negotiate with the seller. And worst case scenario, if it needs to be replaced, you can definitely bring that up in your negotiations before you close on the property, or you can simply walk away if you don't want the headache of replacing that system. Now, generally speaking, the cost to replace a septic system is between $3,000 and $15,000. That depends on which components need to be replaced. Now, there are two major components, one of which is the septic tank itself, and the other is the drain field. Now, whether or not you're replacing one or the other or both, remember that cost can be on the upper end of that range if you do have to replace the entire system. Now, if you are a homeowner and you are not sure whether or not you are on septic or public sewer, you can easily identify that by looking at your water bill. It'll give you the breakdown of charges, and it will let you know whether or not you're paying for public sewer, or it will identify whether you are on a septic system. Now, if you're a homeowner and don't know whether or not you are on septic or public sewer, that's a little cringe, because that means that you probably haven't had your septic tank pumped in quite some time. It is imperative that you, as a homeowner, if you are on a septic system, that you have that system pumped and inspected every 2 to 3 years. Now, obviously, you can wait a little bit longer depending on how many people are in your household, but generally speaking, if the system gets a lot of use, and let's say you're a family of 4 or 5, you definitely want to make sure that that system is inspected and serviced every 2 to 3 years. But if you're a family of 2, or maybe you're just a family of 1, you're a single individual, and the system doesn't get that much use, you can essentially stretch that time out a little bit longer, but it's just imperative that you routinely have it serviced and inspected. Now, I've had experience myself with septic systems. The last 2 homes that we've had have actually been on septic. We were in our last property for 10 years, and we only had one major issue where a pipe had to be replaced, and that was about $2,500. However, we've been in our current residence for about 7 years now, and 2 years into home ownership, we replaced the entire system, and that was about $18,000. Now, that's a little bit outside of the range that I just spoke about, but the reason why it was a little bit more expensive is because we moved the entire system from the front yard to the backyard, and in addition to replacing the septic tank and drain field, we also added a separate, smaller tank that is used to pump the wastewater up into the drain field that is in our backyard. So it was a little bit more expensive, but it was well worth it. And the system honestly was at its end of life. We purchased this property from the original owners, and they had been in the home for 46 years. So it's just one of those expenses that we knew that we would eventually have to, it was one of those things that we knew we would eventually have to replace. So it was just an expense that we had planned for. But anyway, I will just say, if you're a homeowner, please, please, please make sure that your septic system is serviced routinely. And if you are a home buyer, please make sure that you identify whether or not the property you intend to purchase is on septic. And if it is, make sure that it's inspected and serviced before you move in. So that's it for my rant today on septic systems. Of course, there is a wealth of information that I can share with you on septic systems, how to maintain them, some resources I can provide you with if you just want to read up on it. If you have any questions, just let me know. Reach out to me by phone or text. You guys know I'm always available. On the flip side of that, if you are in the Atlanta metro area and you are looking to purchase, I would love to help you navigate the home buying process. I do work with several lenders, and as you know, rates have come down just a little bit. We're still in the mid fives, close to 6%, which is great considering we were at 7% in January. So you might be surprised at the type of home that you can afford, especially in today's market with the inventory that we still have available here in the Atlanta metro area. And if you're looking to sell your home in the near future, I'd love to help navigate the home selling process with you. You can go to my website, johnmichaelsellsatl.com, request a free property valuation. Of course, I'll follow up so we can not only discuss your real estate goals, but next steps, and also identify whether or not it's a good time for you to sell. Some people, it is a must right now for them to sell, and for other people, they might be on the fence. And after we have that consultation, you might find that you're better off financially staying where you are and waiting a few years until the market changes. So we will identify what your goals are and get a plan in place, whether you are purchasing or selling. Like I said, I am always here to help. And as always, again, if you guys have questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm going to go ahead and get my day started because I'm running slightly behind, but that's okay. I'm still going to make some things happen. I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. I know that I'm going to have a great day, and I will see you next time.